hit the club and turn the shoot to a freak show. Look through the peephole, everybody geek, yo. Need to get girl with an extreme need. See six midgets that be fighting, juggling. Maybe it's just me, cause my mind is struggling. Babes, boyfriend is acting like a clown. Know what's going down every time that we are down. Take a look through the peephole, yo. Everybody's getting geek, bro. Stop the hate and let them neeks know that we turn the club into a freak show. Turn the club to a freak show. Turn the club to a freak show. Turn the club, yeah, we turn the club to a freak show. Turn the club into a freak show. Look at Snow White eating rotten apples. Dirty bass that be coming at you. Roller coasters like a supernova. Around the ringmaster, this my tabernacle. See you screaming, I'm like, what for? Oh, you pop? Yeah, I got popcorn. I been wake up on the wrong lawn, so we won't stop. It's a lost cause. Take a look through the peephole. Yo, everybody's getting geek, bro. Stop the hate and let them neeks know that we turn the club into a freak show. Turn the club to a freak show. Turn the club to a freak show. Turn the club, yeah, we turn the club to a freak show. To a freak show.
Got enough of every melody, they all sound the same. Yeah. For my broken heart, no remedy. But maybe if you stay, we can get away with it. Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. I do you do cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. I do you do cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. Oh, my darkest memories, now let me fall back. But you'll be there, ready to rescue me if I go out of track. We can get away with it. Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. I do you do cause I'm feeling so good. We'll
but I don't know why. You hit the road, but you don't realize I won't look back when you're around. I won't think twice when you're gone. Don't hesitate to call me back, 'cause I won't be there. I won't look back when you're around. I won't think twice when you're gone. Don't hesitate to call me back, 'cause I won't be there. I won't look back.
Yeah, sure. Wait, how do I minimize parsec? Or like make it smaller basically?
I don't know why. She told me it's not your fault, but you don't realize that I never wonder what's the truth in your eyes. There's a light that makes me blush. I won't look back when you're around. I won't think twice when you're gone. Don't hesitate to call me back, 'cause I won't be there. I won't look back when you're around. I won't think twice when you're gone. Don't hesitate to call me back, 'cause I won't be there. I won't look back.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to European Open League Season 4. We are here with Major League Playday number 2. We have Katana Gaming versus NeverLast Esports. This is NeverLast's second game of the split, as well as Katana's. This is both these teams' second games. So a chance to, not get the first impression necessarily, but get a good start to the season, most importantly.
Yeah, cool. We saw K9 and well, the last cast, what was it? K9 versus NeverLast Academy, and that was a very exciting game. Yeah. It was on Skyscraper. We saw that. Very underplayed map.
It is, and we have a variety of maps being played in Tier 4 these days, but to see a Skyscraper from NeverLast, I believe it might have been their pick, if I remember correctly. So they have a huge map pool. NeverLast, they even said in the interview last week that they have quite a large map pool. They're quite confident on pretty much any map that they play on. Which is always a really positive sign. So we'll see if that continues today. Speaking of maps, though, the kind of map pool for today is going to be slow reveals here. We're going to have the bands coming through in just a second. It's going to might take its time. Where's it gone? Come on. Yeah, there it is. I just came through as I realized it. That's fine. But we do have Chalet and Clubhouse as our two picks, and you'll see the bands two coming through. In terms of priority, priority of bands can be a sign for some of what teams may be thinking. We've got Bank and Theme Park straight off the board there initially, and Sky. Actually, Sky's a band this time from NeverLast, so perhaps they're not feeling it too much against Katana.
Yeah, I see that NeverLast have banned out Skyscrapers, so they've obviously don't feel comfortable going back to it since their defeat on it last week.
Yeah, I guess so. But we've got Chalet, that was the pick for Katana Gaming. Then NeverLast have chosen Clubhouse. A bit more of a comfort pick, I suppose, for them. In terms of Chalet, though, we actually have a defense start for Katana. Do you think that'll be an advantage to Katana, or do you think Chalet's a bit more balanced to both sides?
Well, it depends. I mean, Chalet can either go either way. I'm pretty sure that most maps in T4 right now are defender-sided, since teams kind of struggle on the attacks. I mean, not many teams even have attack strats, so I think most maps will end up playing out defender-sided. So, yeah, I think Chalet is one of them. Obviously, the team here thinks that they prefer defense, so they've picked defense, obviously. And NeverLast said that they can do anything, so they should be going into attack confidently as well.
Yeah, I think so. NeverLast, I think... I'm not sure if it was their choice to go attack first, but if it was, obviously a very intriguing choice, knowing how notorious how notoriously defender-sided Clubhouse is. But these days the attackers are more strong than ever, so you have that chance to fight back and get usually a 3-3 split is actually more common in 4-2 these days, to be honest. So wouldn't be surprised to see a 3-3 split today, but only time will tell. But in terms of this game, I believe the players are nearly ready to go. But do you have any predictions for maybe operator bans we'll see on Chalet?
Well, you're probably going to see the Thatcher ban as always, from maybe a Cade, definitely Valkyrie. I mean, I don't think we're going to see anything too special. I mean, yeah, obviously Valk Thatcher. Yeah, pretty much.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think so. Couldn't agree more. Maybe a Flores too is usually a go-to for teams. A lot of shields on Chalet can be countered by Flores, as ones on maybe top library, mezzanine, just to name a couple. Even piano, lost on the top floor. Not so many on the bottom floor and first floor respectively. But we'll see what these teams go for today. But without further ado, the players are ready to go. So we're going to get into Chalet, which is map number 1 of this series. We'll see what these bans do come through. A lot of teams do like to go unusual bans though these days, so anything could really happen. You never know what to expect. Let's wait and see. I've seen a couple of Jaeger bans here and there. A couple of bans on Azumi, the new operator in the competitive scene. Do you think Azumi has big impact on Chalet, or do you think maybe this isn't quite a map that Azumi can be used on?
Well, I think you can basically play Azami in most maps now and most strats. She's very powerful because you can head glitch those barriers obviously and just hold certain positions and use it to waste a load of time. And also another thing what you can do with her is you can just seal off a soft wall so you don't get wall banged. She's very potent right now. And yeah, a lot of teams are definitely banning her, so the game's a lot less fast. A lot more faster for the attack. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, it's definitely true. Very powerful operator in the right hands. I think especially on Chalet where there's a lot of long angles, she can be incredibly prevalent in denying those, ensuring that you have to be careful where they're pushing from, and maybe have to waste utility to destroy those Azumi barriers as well. There's lots to think about. There we go. There's an unusual ban. Everything else has seemed fairly normal so far, but maybe they're maybe a target ban to someone, or perhaps they know that maybe a Ying likes to be used on the Katana side. Then there's a final ban there. So that does keep Kaid open, bear in mind. So I imagine breaches will be a little bit harder to get. But yeah, I'm intrigued by that Warden ban. I think it's something probably to do with flashes, I guess we'll have to look through. We'll have to see if that is a worthy ban. I think one's a bit too situational maybe for that kind of ban.
If you remember last week, we saw Farmer Gerald posted up in a drum with his shotgun on the Warden, and he was a problem. He literally killed Thermite one round. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Katana has seen that and they don't want to deal with it.
That is true. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, it's almost unusual to see tier 4 teams preparing, watching VODs of their enemies, but it does happen. And maybe Katana have done that and seen that threat there. They don't want to deal with it. Whether you waste a ban on it entirely is another story, but I guess they don't feel confident in going against that. We're going to see the bar site first, though, from the side of Katana. No Aruni on the board for this setup, or Tachanka. Well, no one really that can make... We've got the smoke, but usually you'd expect maybe at least one of the Tachanka or the Aruni. Then again, you can do great work with that Frost shotgun. We're seeing that used on top library. Do you think Frost is still a worthy pick on top floor?
Yeah, Frost is great. She's great on this map as a whole because you have all the jump-ins. You see, especially if you have a person playing on a shield next to the traps, it's either A, die to the Frost trap, or B, die to the guy on the shield when you jump in. She's very strong right now. You also get the shield and the secondary shotgun to remodel the map.
Yeah, that's very, very true. A lot of good utility there. And I think no matter what level of play you are watching, usually there is at least one Frost mat kill. Players just never expect it, even if she is so commonly picked on maps like Chalet. There's going to be a solo side push here with Shady on the Iana here, jumping straight through. I think we can drone through bedroom, but let's hope they are still aware. Let's hope they're aware of that Kaid. Now we position themselves outside of piano, so they're giving up that control quite quickly here, and then they'll look to breach open this office wall. They will have to destroy that Kaid, which I imagine we placed below somewhere. I believe there is a placement in lobby for that Kaid Electric Claw, so that's going to mean a lot of waste utility on the side of the attack.
I've noticed Smoke's playing the FMG here. He decides to play this operator very aggressively. You said before that you played a shotgun, but he's kind of just decided to get a little crazy here with a 1.5. See what he can do. Instead of trying to save those smokes, he's just going to throw them out. And just tries to stall for as long as he possibly can, and then he can just frag out once the smokes are gone. See how it works out for him.
I think so, yeah. I mean, Smoke's one of the operators where you probably don't want to play too aggressive because you want to keep that utility. In situations like this, where you can use that utility at the same time as being aggressive, it does work out quite well. But it's all depending on the person. And he sees the rear there of the Jaeger, but does he want to shoot? I think he's just waiting for him to fully peek out. A smart play from Shady, and he says he's going to make use of this information to throw a grenade into his position. I think the ADS might catch it, but no, he just... He pulls it a little bit too far. He's going for another nade here, but this time Future is watching the angle, but as he prepared for the nade to come through, it gets caught by an ADS, unfortunately. And I kind of expect that to happen. That means he has no nades now to clear out. He can hard reach from below, but he might be able to use a Bomb 6 to do that instead. But instead he's going to move away there, and I don't know, they actually managed to destroy it through another way, so they must have maybe shot it off, perhaps. I didn't see it being shot off there, but I think he might have seen it. Corner. And in the meantime, though, he's moved down the stairs, but he's been taken out by James in the live kitchen. Ace not afraid you see Goshen flanks all the time, but it works out here for NeverLast, and they've got that 2 opening picks on the board. They have 30 seconds now to go for a push down. They're going to push down the main stairs, as well as from the hatches that they have now opened up inside of library, so they're going to get access to the bomb site here. Let's see what we're up. Peeking the ambulance live main up. Can he get a kill? Yes, he can eventually with the help of Luba, who's inside of the basin right now. Makai's been shot from the big window, but gets the kill nevertheless, and that's 2 picks back already, and the C4 goes out from Alfred, but sadly, he detonates that right now. He's not going to hit his mark, and there it goes. No kills for him, but Apply is now going down inside the bar. If Kai goes to swing, he could with the last 2 picks, and he does! James get, I believe, 3 kills on the round there for him on that hard breach, and the first round goes to NeverLast.
Yeah. Well, that was a very close round there. Even though they had the -2 man count, Cade managed to fight back and hit that wonderful shot onto the site window. Yeah, I think that they basically just gave up Solarium too quickly, and they also gave up Piano without too much resistance. I think, and then they also got unfortunate with the smoke getting picked off, and someone else, I believe. I think it was the Jaeger on that pillar getting picked off early, and then it was 5 versus 3, and they Again, very strong attack from NeverLast here. They used the Ace They used him as a flank watch in the kitchen to just hold down below. And then he exploded into sight and got those final few picks.
Yeah, he exploded in quite a literal sense because he actually breached the wall there on the bar side. Not a wall you see open very often, that single wall on the left-hand side of the bar door. But it worked out well to give him an angle into the other bomb site, inside of Connector, giving him another 2 picks there in that round. So, yeah, good coordination, maybe a bit slow on that push. You know, could have taken a little bit less time to get control of the top floor, but it didn't really mean much because with that, within those 30 seconds, they were able to get really good control, despite some fight back from Katana. Sadly, it was not quite enough to get the win on the day, but there's plenty more rounds to go. It's only the first one of many. They now have chosen to go back down to the kitchen, so a site which could be attacked in a similar way, some would say. You do need control of master bedroom as well as that side of the map in general. Seeing a lively push here is no surprise. There's going to be a heavy top floor hold, a very classic thing to do on this bomb site. But do you think it's potentially dangerous to have so many people on the top floor, or do you think it's the way to go?
I mean, it depends on the type of strat you want to do, and it looks like they've got. I think it looks fine basically. They've got a few people up top to waste time and have some refrag potential. It's actually pretty standard. Actually, looking at it now, you've got the mute in the office, you've got Jaeger and Piano, and you've got the I believe it's the Melusi playing a little further back in the closet. It looks like a kind of standard top floor extension. But something I want to tell you is like something very wayward. Is they're playing Sense, Thermite Smokes, and also Smoke Grenades. So they're probably going to try and do some sort of execute here involving those smokes. And let's see how it works out for them. James will just try and open the office here, but it's mute jammed. He's just trying to go to the far right so he can get it open, but I believe it won't reach. I don't know. We'll see how much.
I believe those mute jammers will cover. Yeah, he's placed in the corner there. He's actually placed on each corner of the wall, which is basically directly where James is placing his gadget. So that's not been open anytime soon. He's been forced to rotate back downstairs. And they're a bit nervous to push this top floor hold here. And you can see they're getting control of the library side. They haven't really taken control of anything else. They've been quite slow in their push here. And they're now going to try and go for a site push immediately, which could be dangerous because these attackers, always can rotate downstairs quite easily. They have the hatch inside the master bedroom. We have soda stairs. I'm sure those anchors will be communicating where he's pushing from. See Smoke there, being able to repeat that to someone inside the kitchen hallway. They've now got that wall open, and Profit and Jaeger still top floor here, being able to flank and maybe cause some trouble late round.
Yeah.
James is going to rotate onto the west main. A good choice here to push from a different position, especially because there's actually someone playing to the west main right now. It's going to be that Smoke who's watching the door, but it's not going to be peeked by James. He's actually going to rotate again. He's going to be moving around us all the way around the map in this particular round. But if Smoke peeks the window right now, I think he might be able to get a kill. Or no, that's inside the hallway. I was about to say, that would be an unfortunate position. But Swiss here watching the flanks. Actually, he's got these people on the top floor in control. But he will need to be actually win his gunfight, using an Osa shield, which can be seen from both positions. He has to be careful and not give away his position, which he may have just done there. But Future with the second kill of the round here, now throw the C4 out through the Sen's barrier, but it's going to hit no targets. And now the rush is going to come from Shell, but he gets kicked off by Poppy, who has those vertical holds from above. Now it's down to James and Swiss, who are both on top floor. What a shot by Swiss there. Could he get a second? No, he can't. And now it's a 1v4 for James, who's left just below. I believe he was in main lobby there with that Neo, and yeah, he was. So he got taken out there through the flanks, and yeah, I mean, I think leaving people on top floor there may have been a mistake.
Well, yeah, I think that was I appreciate them trying to get creative with the sense and all those smoke grenades, but I think what went wrong there is they just neglected the fact that they had 3 players on the top floor, and I think you've got to clear those out before you can even think about site. You know what I mean? Because they can just play top down there into site, even if you try to go for a plant. Maybe they thought the smokes could cover it, but I'm not too sure. Perhaps they should have. NeverLast probably should have, in my opinion, put someone on big window and just watched. So then they can kind of clear easier, take library and get aggressive and just push up. And then if they have that stuff mute jam below, instead of just forgetting about it, just nade below and clear that way. But I think that was a very strong defense from Katana. They did a relatively default defense from what I saw, and it worked out for them greatly.
It did, yeah, sometimes the standard stuff works, and especially if you can do it well, there's no reason to change up or do anything special. But we'll see what they can do on the second time we're going to Bar. It was a relatively close round last time. I think it was only just that kind of fake quick execute at the fake end from the attack that lost in the round. Let's see if they can redeem themselves here. They have basically the same lineup, from what I understand. I'm not sure anything's changed too much in their set, but they have the library hold going on with some presence inside of office, or round office, I should say. It looks like there's going to be a similar push in the attack too, so let's see if they can do it a bit more quickly this time. And they are going to have Shade on the Twitch this time, rather than Ayana, so a bit more utility there to clear out on the bomb side. But Prof with the opening pick with the FMG, somehow from top live, he may have shot through the window. Yeah, I think he did. I think he shot through the window and took out Gerald there on the banner. A key pick to get off the board there. That's one hard breach down.
Yeah, this isn't good for NeverLast here. That's their Habana. They have to rely on the ace with his 3 Selmas. Could be worse. At least they have 2 hard breaches. So yeah,
that is true.
James will just be trying to salvage something here. He'll peek a window, but he realizes it's too risky. And he'll rotate over to Solarium to assist Shady here. They do have piano control. It is not being contested at all by Katana. They just kind of want to trap them into that hallway and play off of their shields. Alfred will be in cubby and inside of library here. He'll be using his 1.5 scope onto the piano double door to just try and snipe any attackers that may come into him. Yeah, it's clear, and James knows it. He'll walk up here.
He went for the peak to come through. He has to be careful because James needs to stay alive. He's one and only hard beat remaining, and he hasn't used his Selmas yet. I imagine one of them will be used there. So now I mean they have an angle on top of live, which means the Smoke has to be a bit more aware of what he's doing, and an early use of that Smoke there.
Whoa!
Look at the opening. Tries to get a peek into the window, but Kitten knows it and gets that recrag onto the Smoke. And now with 1 minute 25 to go again, quite a slow push here, but then now the nades are going to come out here, but they need to be aware of that presence inside of live you were mentioning before. Valid 1.5 times scope on the Kaid. Let's see if he can do any damage here. He has a peek onto the piano door, but he's given away position by shooting a couple of bullets, so the attacker are going to know where he's coming from, and hopefully they'll be watching the angle as they walk through, but they're a bit hesitant right now. The attacker is watching their flanks. I think they expect a flank to come through here, but they're using multiple people to watch that flank, which is a unusual way of doing it. I think one person is usually enough. But in the meantime, because of that lack of presence on that side of the map, they've actually allowed Kai to rotate down the library stairs, and they've now got full top floor control, but once again, they're running out of time here on the attack.
Yeah, I believe they just realized that Gerald can watch for flank cam, and now they're just going to try and push top floor. Whoa! Oh, James nearly gets bombed, but he just tanks it. Yeah, K dropped the hatch. He just fell off back to side. He realized that position was way too risky for him. He only has an AWP. He's got to hit head. He needs against an AK-12 and the F2 and just think LMG. All of these incredibly potent attacker guns. Shady will just be positioned outside outside of his sight now, just trying to peek in, try to find any unsuspecting attackers. Fuji will be here matching his aggression, just holding the bottom main stairs. He engages, gives him a little bit of a spray, but 10 seconds left, you have to execute. Effort to be a murd, and all hell breaks loose. James is inside planting, and yeah, all those gunfights just don't go in NeverLast's favor. Katana just frag out and shoot them. Obviously.
Yeah, you'll notice that two of the people involved in those final kills were both coming from flanks. One from blue stairs, one from the main stairs. So a lot of flanks going on. And again, it was many G's to NeverLast not really taking advantage of the fact they had control of the map. They had the control, but didn't really push forwards to gain more control. They basically relied on the defenders giving them that control instead. But it means that even if they have the control, they didn't get the people. They didn't kill anyone, which means they have the ability to flank. They have the ability to just kill them back. And that was the ending to that round. And they didn't get lucky this time. They didn't have enough time to get any kills. I believe they had the library hat.
Right.
But they were forced to rotate down the stairs to go to hatch drops or it's never a reliable strategy, especially against a team like Katana.
Yeah, that's how Cade had his little escape route in the library hatch. He wasted some time and dipped, and then he just proned him murder and just Malisi just baited him out and got that frag. Yeah, something I want to point out now is that they have decided to play Tachanka instead of Smoke. This is kind of questionable to me because I think Smoke's kind of better in most ways. Perhaps he's just trying to get a little bit more range with the Shumikas, because you can kind of get some really cool lineups with those. He'll just use his LMG for some site remodeling. Or perhaps he just wants the LMG to just get crazy, but yeah, that's that. Another operator is playing Maestro here, who I think is kind of underutilized in comp. Okay.
Yeah, you see him a huge amount. Even though Howard is incredibly powerful. Despite I don't know, just not really been too popular recently, but coming to fruition now from Alfred. Like the Azumi pick as well, another good pick from Katana. It's actually going to be used here on the library side to cut to this angle on the big window, which will mean that this kind of pixel peak that people tend to be killed from is going to be blocked off, and he's using a lot of barriers here. Do you think this will maybe halt the attack quite a lot here?
I don't think so. It's going to be in favor of Azami. She's basically put one on that soft floor, so she can get wallbanged. She'll take damage from the window, though. She didn't think about that one. And exactly. You can just barrier everything off, so then you have like some sort of cover. You don't get wallbanged. It's like a castle barricade in a way.
Right.
She'll just reposition back into sight, and she's waited some time, and she's enabled his teammates to get some picks. And now it's what, a 5 versus 3? They've lost their Thinker and Yana, so both of their entry operators are dead. And now we got James, Swiss, and Gerald just having to pick up the pieces and try and salvage like a very dire round for these guys.
It was a good play there from Azumi. Got one kill, ran away, and then wasted a minute of the round. So I thought well done there for the Azumi. And I meant that she can get a shot from many kind of the common angles. So it allowed her to be a lot more free in how she can move around. She had to be careful of not peeking Azumi too aggressively, but she's able to get a kill still. So this really did work. And there is still a whole beach alive on the NeverLast side. They only have one in their position. They might have had a whole beach for the two attackers, but there's James on the double window. Such a powerful angle, that position, and he's took full advantage of it there. Bargain of the Chanka playing inside Master Bedroom. You notice the wall is fully open there on the right-hand side, which means he can throw those fire launch or fire bolts through and deny the plants. He knows the lineup correctly. And those fire bolts, they go on for a very long time, which can waste about 30 seconds, which is double what the attackers have here to end this execute and end this round potentially, but they need to be careful of where they're pushing from. We see James in a lot of unusual positions this game so far, trying to sneak around.
Whoa!
He's actually jumped through the bathroom window, which actually was threat. I'm not sure if he knew that, but he gets a kill. But does get refound by Alfred, and now he's a 3v2 with 30 seconds on the clock for the attack, and there's going to be a breach. They see the breach, or they see the person run through the breach, but they quickly run out, and now Joe's going to try and run through the office door, but he's being watched by a lot of people right now. One of them is the site of an elder. But no, he looks away the very wrong time, but now Meat's on the case. The MP5K gets one, but can he get a second? Not quite, and now Gerald was going to be desperate to push through, but he only has 20 seconds on the clock. He knows where the Maestro is, I believe, but he doesn't know the exact position. He's going to try and go for a flash. Now it's going to be actually it's going to be Mute playing behind us with piano, but can he get the pick? No, he can't. They're both whipping here, but MP5K is just going to win it out in Katana, and now 3-1 after 3 rounds in a row on the board on the defense.
That's a valiant effort for Gerald. He runs straight into the shield, and if he had like 5 more bullets, Mute would have been a dead man. We saw towards the end of that round there why they elected to play the Tachanka instead of Smoke, just so they can like launch those Shumikas to default plant, because with Smoke you can definitely cover a considerable amount of I'm out on the bomb site or wherever you're smoking. But with Tachanka, it's a smaller radius. But when you're just trying to deny like a breach like that with Habana, where it's tiny, or like a default plant, you can use Tachanka, and it's very powerful because you can get the range. He was not exposed to anyone where he was. He was prone in the back of site with his lineup, and he was just chilling. He could just launch those all day.
Yeah, I mean, his only danger was from solo. So if he had been shot from solo, it could have been bad, and maybe that could have been a good place for James to try and sneak through. He seems to be kind of the solo player right now for NeverLast, or at least in that rounds. He likes to push in like unusual spots and pick some unusual ops in the process. So Sen's being chosen, repicked, I should say, from him, from that Zofia. So, you know, whether maybe I sacrifice the Zofia's utility for Sen's, I'm not so sure though.
I must say, that was a very good effort, though, from NeverLast Academy. That was like a 5 versus 3 in a very dire situation, especially on Chalet, where we have to push up against all those shields and stuff. And then Swiss just managed to jump in, start something. Oh, wait, who was on Zofia? I forgot. I don't know.
Well, I think it might have been James. His name is James, yeah.
Yeah, James, that's the one. He just jumps into bathroom and just makes a play, kills the Jaeger. He does get refragged, but that enables the Sledge to go and get a couple more. I mean, yeah, it was a very valiant effort, and I don't think it should have been that close. Katana maybe gave him a little bit too much control there. Maybe James will be back on the scent. They want to try and do a smoke play again. Let's hope they clear our office and top floor completely this time, so we don't have to worry about the vert. We'll see how it works out for them. I see what James is using with DMR here. He doesn't want to touch the rifle because yeah, it has a load of recoil and the stats aren't great at all. So the DMR is a very good weapon here. It does a lot of damage and he'll just be repelling up, trying to find the Malusi. And he can cut off solo rotate here. His team can push office. All you have to do is solve this angle.
Whoa! Oh, and nearly sees it, which is the low HP. But now Prophet do not want to peek here. This James on the balcony. He's watching the angle right now, but he's done a lot of damage, so that will help in the long term potentially. And there is no source of healing on the defense either. No Thunderbird, no Doc. So that'll mean that she's going to be on low HP for the remainder of the round, which means she can't peek from solo it. Otherwise, she will be killed. So that's going to be potentially an issue later in the round for this defensive side.
You know, James is kind of like the AWPer for NeverLast right now. He just like posted up on some rappel, just holding an angle and just sniping. Malusi, like yeah, Malusi would be on what, like less
aggressive swing from Alfred from the hallway, but can't get any kills through it. There's going to be the vertical hold made again by Malusi. But, oh my god, how is she alive? Gets dominated and still remains here on the top floor.
Yeah. Shady would just be on his oath shield again. I believe they're doing this just to post up and just try to stop them from playing vert, but I believe they can get a longer angle if they play further back inside. I don't know. I think they've just got to rotate out big window and just get aggressive and just kind of hold them. They can't really stagnate here. If you focus on the smokes, where they use their smokes, I believe they try to smoke off the vert and then go for a default plant, but it kind of looks a little weird to me. I appreciate them trying to do something creative. Let's see how it works out for them.
Whoa! Alfred through the Sen's barrier takes out Kitten. That is, I don't know how he knew he was there, but I mean, another Sen's barrier thrown down through the outside wall there from James. And then people goes out, but doesn't need to kill. He wants to pop it hard again, and these attacks are not adapting to what they're seeing and do get taken up by the vertical pressure once again. But Shade's going to warm the back, and Walkers are coming through from James from below. He doesn't choose to go west now, despite 2 seconds being on the clock. He's going to rotate back and go up through main lobby instead, but it's now down, the fuse are down, and it's down to the 3v2 with James and Swiss on the attack, and there's still a lot of utility on the defensive side. One of them's an Echo Drone from LKS here. The Swiss gets one back though. I believe that's on the top floor. It's going to be the Malusi taken out. Now it's still down to those 2 anchors, but Bayusha's there to get the injury onto 1. But can he get the last one? It's going to be shot from above. Swiss there, I think the saving the KD there, trying to get some consolidation kills, or constellation kills even, but he can't even get that, and it's 4-1 now on a defense on Chalet.
Holy cow, Alfred just put Finker in the blender right there, just with a smoke bomb. So some would say it's lucky, but I think Alfred kind of knew. He knew main bridge was open, and he just tapped away and got a little, yeah, he found the head. Now, NeverLast still insist in just brute forcing away through main breach and neglecting the roam game on the top floor, and I think that kind of lost them around there. It's kind of a shame because these guys are capable of so much, because we saw that they were kind of getting frags towards the end of the round, and they keep on bringing it back so close, and it makes you wonder. Perhaps they might find more success if they just get in there and just clear the top floor. They'll go a bar here with a frost. I mean, smoke F from G9. Top will be getting aggressive again.
Yeah. They absolutely will. I mean, I'm still a bit confused as to why NeverLast was so hesitant to go for a top floor clear. I think they're a little bit scared of losing too many people, but I think maybe do a solo push, maybe push from multiple angles, and you can make it work. I think it's completely leaving it. I think is a mistake, and I think it does mean that they are a bit more vulnerable later in the round. By the time they did clear out the top floor, they had 20 seconds to go, and there was Osa on her own there. But Swiss, who was just completely left between a rock and a hard place, he was forced to try and get something off from below, because I believe the hatch may have been closed in the bedroom, or it might have been open actually, but he couldn't get there in time to rotate. It wouldn't have been forward for that stage. So yeah, it's a bit slow and a bit kind of sluggish from NeverLast. And this is a team which was very dominant in their last series. It was streamed here on the ERL Twitch channel, and they did fairly well. They seemed a very confident team, but this time it's not quite showing that. And now, actually, as I say, they are going to push on the big window.
Whoa!
Oh, God, for the future there. Taken off the board. Doesn't even care about that window. He just pre-fires and takes Swiss off the game. And that is a very good opening frag to get off the board. 2 nades. And it's the vertical pressure, which the attackers could have applied on this site.
Yeah, something I've noticed is Kitten here is not playing Thinker. I think this is, I don't know about this decision for NeverLast here. I believe Thinker's like the best entry right now, because you can just like heal yourself up and then fall back onto that insane LMG. James just get picked off by some run out from Malusi here. He knows that there's a guy outside trophy. He's just gonna keep on wasting time in kitchen. And again, it's a 5 versus 3. NeverLast have lost their man count. And yeah, this isn't. Smoke will still be on the blue stairs, and I think he's going to play passive now. Yeah, he's playing passive. He still has his free smokes. He can waste at least 30 seconds. Yeah, 2 minutes left. At least they have some drones to work with. Yeah, JD has 1 in pocket, still has 2 Twitch drones. Gerald has 2 out of pocket, and Kitten has 1 out of pocket. Profit. Oh! Alfred will just get taken out by the Zofia LMG. Or they'll reposition onto the piano window now. They've got to burn these shields before they think about pushing. Kitten will try and take the gunfight onto the Jaeger on the pillar shield, but he's unsuccessful. Jaeger's just keeping down, staying undetected. Prophet's about to let his smokes fly, because he's trying to waste time.
He's considering the idea of doing that, but he's waiting for the right time, and there it is. He's broken now with men at half 1 o'clock, and Future still being pressure on this window, but he's struggling to find the angle on Sophia. Oh, now the peak. Oh no, he still wins it. Kitten gets the frag with his Sophia LMG. Probably shouldn't be losing that gunfight, unfortunately, after the smoke, but he does lose it anyway. And it's going to allow Kitten to jump through this window here and destroy the shield on Mezzanine, which has now forced the Jaeger of Future to run down the stairs. And this is better from NeverLast. They have now double the time they had previously to get an execute onto the bomb site.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think Prophet got a little unlucky there. Kitten just, like, flicked his mouse all the way to the right and just took Prophet's head off. 3v3 situation now. 45 seconds left. He has the top floor. They just got to push down and try and take out the people on the middle floor now. This could go either way at this point. NeverLast have fought this back pretty well, but Katana's positioning looks to be very impressive.
My biggest worry right now is Lubo here on these basement stairs. He could cause a lot of problems. He has gotten a kill from the position previously, so the attack should be aware of this position being, having someone there potentially, and they should check it as they walk down. But they are in a rush right now because they spent so much time building on the top floor. They only have 20 seconds to get a push through, and Future gets 1 pick. I think like another's going to come through here, and it is going to come in from Future. His 2nd kill of the round, and Lubo there steals it from Jaeger and gets that final frag. It's 5-1 on a map which I would argue should lean towards the attack.
Yeah, I mean, you're right there. I think the Chalet is slightly attacker-sided if you look at the Pro League statistics, but generally, it could go either way. This is Chalet. You never know. NeverLast might get very good. Make it a little crazier on defense and bring it back, and then we can still win. You never know. He's got to keep the mindset up. Just got to keep on rolling and just keep on going, because the rounds do not carry over. It's not like I'm surprised I haven't called a tactical timeout though. To be fair, stopping momentum.
Teams are where they can use them. They have I believe 60 seconds there as a tactical timeout. They can use it, but they're choosing to save it here and to rely on their defensive rounds to try and get a comeback. We have seen a lot of teams who just don't really like attacking, but are a lot better on their defense. So that could easily be the case of the NeverLast. We did see very strong defensive rounds from them in their previous series. We are seeing a bit of a different lineup here from the NeverLast side. We are seeing Valkyrie, who can probably be banned in this game, as well as the Alibi chosen by Shady there. And I think a lot of people like Alibi for the impact side, but in actual utility, I don't think she offers a huge amount.
Nah, I think Alibi is great in my opinion. She has a bailiff to make rotates and open hatches with. You have the gun with a 1.5, and you have like a few, like what, three prisoners that can trick the attackers and get you some information. And of course you have the shield, which is literally the best attacker, like the denial gadget right now there is. And anyway, as I was saying before, the rounds do not carry over at all. Like, this might as well be 0-0 right now. So, NeverLast got to keep their heads up and just keep on ticking, because they can easily bring us back.
Absolutely.
They'll just head up to the solar here and try to do a solar clear. Katana will drone out trophies, so we know that's clear.
They do indeed. basically copying the attack that they saw from NeverLast. We're going to have Alfred playing on that big window, trying to get an early pick once again, but not going to be lucky enough to get one this time around. But in the meantime, that's a great opening frag there from James, who's below inside a trophy, gets that C4 kill onto Profit, but Luba's now pushing to the office and pretty catch up an attack. There's no attackers playing on this side of the map at all, so actually he has free roam to roam here, but that opening pick onto the sledge again, more nades brought off the board. There's only now 2 remaining on Lubo, and it means that again the attack are losing their vertical pressure early on.
Yeah. As you can see, they already have piano control, but I mean, James did just blow one up from below, utilizing those vault cams to great effect. Lubo will jump out the window here. Just open up the window on the highway, just looking onto top blue. Oh, Jaeger's just got to keep his head down and just keep on wasting time. And I think Gerald knows this. Gerald, even though he's 0-5, he is thinking right, and I believe he is commanding his team to success. Swiss will just be playing on the pillar. So they have a 2-way crossfire here. And if there's a guy in library, that's a 3-way crossfire, which is very potent. Gerald will peek through the glass, kind of an aggressive angle here. Future will be looking around for valve cams. He's cautious about getting C4 from below again. Since he saw his comrade Prophet get absolutely nuked. Lubo will send in the artillery now, just trying to destroy the shield. But Gerald already knows this, and he will fall away, giving up control. Swiss and Shady will be the remaining defenders on the top floor here, just trying to waste a little bit more time and maybe get a pick or two. They have a bullet.
So just waiting for the right time to peak. That's what they're waiting for right now. But the attack's not doing anything. Again, they're lacking a lot of time. They have just under a minute to go. There's still putting pressure onto the window of the double window, that is, of library. Nothing's really happening at all. And oh, what a shot! Twist there onto the window. Can he get a second onto IQ? He's about to swing through, but it's an important frag for IQ to get. He's waiting for a peek to come from Shady first, but it's not happening here. And can the Swiss get his second kill around? He's waiting for the peek. But again, IQ's hesitant. She's scared here to peek around, and she does see the Swiss touch the head. Can he get a third kill? Not quite. Can't quite land a shot, but he sees the head. Again, can't land it. This is further time being wasted for the attack. Alki has now forced to use bearing 9 to get this kill, but still, he can't do it. Swiss gets a third kill, leaving Twitch in the 1v4. Heroic for Swiss to win his team their second round in this game, and their first on the defense, because it's just impossible here for Alpha. He's stuck inside a co-check, and he's being pinged by multiple different positions, and now he's kitting to get that final kill. It's now 5-2.
Yeah, you have to extend onto the top for like that with utility, and I'm NeverLast did that perfectly. They utilised the vault cams to get a C4 right off the bat, and they just gunned up with Womai and another shields. Wasted a load of time, and then when we have to push, the shields are still up, and you just pop up and shoot them, like Swiss demonstrated right there for us. Yeah, a very strong round for NeverLast, of course.
Yeah, very, very good. A good start on our defense, and hopefully we can see more of that. We are going to see a brand new bomb site now. We're going to see Wine Cellar, a site which a lot of people don't like since the Shallow rework a couple of seasons ago now. It's been a site that people think you can't really win that easily, especially if you have, let's say, a backside push, very hard to counter, potentially depending on the setup that you run. With Kai being open though, it could be a lot more viable.
Yeah, totally. I think with this basement defense, you kind of have to do like an SSG style roam and open the dining hatch. That way, as you said, the backside take isn't as much of a threat to you because you can just play top down on the hatch and just stop them from doing anything. Then they'll force you to clear out the middle floor. And you can waste a load of time like all SSG roams. They'll be playing Oryx here. Perhaps they may be trying to do a 3-4 roam like I said. In terms of open up the hatch, we can play top down. They just called out. They have a Boyle in the lineup as well. So this perhaps means that they're going to be using those cannons to just try and waste time. This whole lineup is based around wasting time. They have the Romans and they have the Cade. Is the anchor, so this is looking very promising for them now. I wonder what that Electroclaw was. He just threw it under the table. I believe that might reach onto Boiler, I think. Can we see a middle? Can we see the basement real quick? Just look at Gerald's perspective. Yeah, that's actually a pretty cool Electroclaw. He basically put it in kitchen so it reaches onto the car garage walls, and I don't think the attack are going to be getting that anytime soon, so long as Oryx is up there.
Yeah. Some teams might know these electric claws, but they are quite obscure, and I've never seen that one before myself. So the new one for me, very, very good, and it's going to be impossible to get off. And we need a calorie brought out by Profit to bust open that door. It's going to be a bit of a rush here from the backside of the map, and I was talking about how hard this backside push can be to get on the right setup. And there's going to be a what looks like, I think it is actually the SSG room you're talking about here. We have some people, we have one person on the top floor, two on the middle, and then the remainder on the basement. So it is basically an SSG room here on Chalet. Not something I've seen before myself. I think my worry is that if they do rush the site, it's going to be a lot harder to rotate back down. They had the other hatches, but it will take them a while to rotate all the way to drop those hatches, and especially if Katana have the the angles cut off here, could be a lot of issues. And here comes, speaking of cut-offs here comes Finka peeking in to the trophy, and Miu's just saved his life as he's not crossed over into West Main just yet. He's waiting for the peak. He is probably not going to expect Future on this window. We might check for it. We'll have to see what he does here. He's going to go for the swing here.
Holy crosses.
I think Future did see his head. I think he might be about to. The pixel peak. Here it comes. Go on. Oh, he's so close. Oh, no way. He's like a millimeter away from peaking. Oh, he's so close. Come on, can he catch the head?
He doesn't have any of it, though. He's
he's
chilling.
More. That's all he has. No, this is painful.
I mean, so long as Oryx...
Oh, he's not peeking. Okay, he remains alive. In the meantime, the site's been opened up here. We have the Go shields being used to great effect. Manoma's going to go for her position on the window by shooting an air jab. That's going to mean that Kitten's definitely aware of Future's presence, but they're just holding the angle. It's a stare off here between these
Mexican standoff.
I think maybe I think Nomad just stays him, doesn't
Whoa!
That's why he does get the frag eventually, the longest gunfight ever. But now the push has come through, and Alfred's got on one, looking for the second, and Alfred's going to run through the front to try and get the plant down, but the nade's going to come through for an Alfred to take out the person playing it on the connector.
I don't believe Thermite's exposed to the hatch here, so I believe Alex will have to drop. And he just gets sniped by the Kali.
Wow, Kali gets... I mean, that's 2 picks so far in this round. Looking for the third, and does get it.
Prophet just goes phase mode and takes out 2.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible from Prophet. Kali's not... I mean, she's actually very viable on Chalet. One of the most... I think of all maps Kali can be used on, Chalet is probably one of the best. Maybe that and Skyscraper, but like... Yeah, what a showing there from Prophet, who gets now his 10th kill of the game. From that, he's actually now, I believe, top ranking for this team. Yeah, he's top ranking for Katana. Doing fantastic stuff, and that is not what I expected. A 3K with Kali on the basement. That's 2 things I didn't expect. The basement site and a Kali doing well on Chalet. And it gives Katana the 6-2 scoreline now. And this could be the last round. We are going to see the wine, or the kitchen, sorry, like being chosen this time in NeverLast. They've definitely not up for trying sites again. Do you think teams should try sites again after they lose, or do you think it's better just to kind of switch it up every round?
I mean, it depends. If you feel like you can go back there and you feel like you can adapt it, it depends how badly you lose. Because if it's just like a minor issue that you know you can fix, you can definitely go there again. But if the attack have you worked out and they can just clear you without like any effort at all, and you're just getting smoked, I think it's a good idea to change it up. It depends on how your team is feeling, really. And we don't really know because we only played NeverLast comms. We'll be playing via Zamia again, though. We're just trying to like head glitch those shields, as I said, and just try to wait a load of time and get a pick or 2. Both teams have been utilizing Azami to great effect, as we've seen.
They have. They've been using it very, very well. But, you know, I think no matter where you place it in the gate, you have to play it yourself very well. You have to know the right positions and the right timing for it. So it is going to be an important factor here for James. But I'm sure his experience playing as well. I'm sure he'll do well with it. He's going to be playing behind the piano there with those zoom gates. Now, Swiss is already pressuring these solo windows. This is going to be I think 2 people holding those windows. So they're going to be expecting peaks to come through. It's going to be Lugo on that Finko again, supported by LKS on the Habana, as well as Alfred playing on the double window, which we'll see that... Oh, it's going to be 2 people inside the closet fast right now. It's going to be Romai and Jaeger. Bit of a dangerous position, this, because the nade comes through here from either the Finko or the arm. Here comes the nade, but no, they can moved out of closet. It's going to be dangerous to push into, and it is. And Kitten does remain alive, and is now going to be behind that safety net of that Azumi gate on the window. But now, that P comes out from... the first one big window, but does get into a retry by Kitchen and go to that peak. Can he get a second? No, he can't quite just yet, but now Shady has the opportunity to peek onto the windows if he wants to. But now he's just crouching, waiting for the... There does peek and gets the shot off the FMG-11. That's now a 3v2 for his team, but a frag did come through in the meantime to make it another disadvantage to the defense. But Kitten is now inside Trophy, causing more havoc. Future there gets taken out by him. As he tried to, I believe, jump through the Trophy window there. It's now for the remaining 2 attackers. Very good window situation. They are a bit split up right now.
Yeah. 1 minute, 30 seconds left, and it's a 2v2 situation. This could go either way right now. I think Prophet and LKS are kind of like spread out right now. They can't really refrag, so they've got to maybe like just decide on a position and just push together. Just force it into sight. Prophet will play with a top-down angle now, just trying to seek out the mute. Shady will send out the C4. He won't be able to find him because he relocated into safer pastures. Kitten will be in the West Main lobby right now, just holding for a hatch drop. He believes he's going to do that. I'm
I
pretty
think
sure.
he's holding the banner. I think he might be aware of Savannah's position.
Yeah,
Coming up
you're
the
right.
west main stairs. He probably hears that barbed wire being broken. I can tell you right now, I think he's not going to expect this Jaeger to be there. He does not. Gets picked off by the
Yeah,
Jaeger.
he's picked
Now
off.
can Kitten get out. I believe it's going to be a 4K for them if they can get his final kill onto the back. These are also being pressured by the Meat, who's taking on the stairs. Low HP, can he finish the kill? No, he can't.
1v1.
Making a 1v1. It's a winnable here to win the game for his team and take
Doesn't know where
map
Jaeger is,
number
though.
1. He's low HP against a Kitten who is full HP. Or Jaeger, I should say, named Kitten, who is full HP and slow trophy. Yeah, 20 seconds. He's applying vertical pressure the best he can, but can he find the angle? He sees the Jaeger and gets the kill. Prophet does win it, and Katana get a 7-2 win on Chalet.
Yeah, Kitten was just oblivious to the top-down angle there. He was just standing there. Oh, that's so unfortunate for him as well, because that would have been a 4K. It would have been an incredibly good play for him just to buy his team another round. And unfortunately, Katana will just clinch it, and Prophet will be the MVP here. And yeah, well, it was a very fun matchup. Both teams are very good, and I don't know, I think NeverLast got a little unlucky, but again, Katana were capitalizing on their aggression quite a lot.
They were. Yeah, it was a very good showing from them. And I think if I was to give anything to NeverLast, I think they have to be a bit more decisive and a bit more brave on their defenses, or their attacks, I should say. They didn't really clear out vertical pressure, or they didn't clear out roamers fast enough. And I think on the defense, they didn't really have enough rounds to make an overall judgment. But I felt like they just got kind of picked off. They played a little bit too aggressive at times, and I think sometimes the aggression did pay off, and they got the frags they needed to. But I think overall, it wasn't quite there for them. But it's definitely, they play Clubhouse next, and map number 2 of this series, which I think will be a lot more suited to their style, and it is their pick, so I think they'll be more adjusted. They'll probably more stronger strategies on them. Expecting SSG Rome to be on Clubhouse on their defense, I'd imagine. I believe they have run it in the past, I want to say. So definitely something I would expect to come out. But I think in terms of other feedback, NeverLast, do you think there's anything else they can improve on to give them a fighting chance in this series?
Well, I think they lost a lot of rounds because they just continued to not clear top floor when the defense went kitchen. They just tried to brute force with the smokes as we saw, and it didn't work out too well for them. I think if they just put down big window, as I said, and just cleared it like normal, like a default clear, I think they would have been fine, and it could have been a lot closer of a game. But yeah, I think Katana were very aggressive, and it paid off for them. Yeah. Again, it was a very fun matchup, and we'll see what Clubhouse has in store for us.
Yeah, Katana are clearly confident as a team. They have they stay calm under pressure, and despite that Buck being in a 1v2 and being in quite a rough spot with that Mute flanking him, and then the Jaeger just below him, he still wasn't afraid, and he still got those final 2 kills. And he had literally, I think, if he hadn't found the Jaeger into the trophy there, he wouldn't have had time to push in. So it's a risk they took, and it paid off, and it won his team the game there. And a 7-2 is going to be great for morale as well going into the second map. So we'll see what a NeverLast can do to fight back in his series and make it 1-1 and get a draw on the day. But we'll take a short break now. We'll take about maybe a 5-minute break before Clubhouse begins. So we're back in a few minutes for the second map of the series. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody, to European Open League Season 4. We're here with Katana Gaming versus NeverLast Esports. We just finished map number 1 of this series, which was on Chalet. Ended up being a 7-2 win for Katana Gaming. So we're going to Clubhouse next, which will be a very different map to Chalet. A lot more defender-sided, I would say, that compared to Chalet. And how do you think the second map will go for NeverLast?
Oh, well, I don't know. Depending on what we saw last time, it's not looking very good for them, but we never know. They can adapt. They're a very good team. They can adapt, and I think they might be able to bring it back if they put their heads together and look something out, or maybe Katana will just continue their momentum and just steamroll them. I guess we'll find out.
Yes, we will. Absolutely. It's going to be Katana Gaming, though, on the defense on Clubhouse first, just like they were on Chalet. So that will give them a bit more of an edge, I would say, over NeverLast. But it's very important this time that NeverLast are able to get at least 2 rounds on your attacking split. You want at least a 4-2 split. 3-3, preferably. Even better if you can get more rounds than that. Absolutely fantastic. But I think a 4-2 here would be kind of a minimum expectation for both Katana and NeverLast.
Yeah, perhaps. I guess we'll find out. As you said, defense is kind of an edge right now because, as we said, T4 is defender-sided. And yeah, I mean, it could be attacker-sided. We don't know. So let's dig into it. This will be a fun one.
Absolutely. The players are good to go, though. So we're going to get on to night number 2. Okay, so into the operator bans, though. A bit more standard, I would say, on Clubhouse. I think possibly a Maverick, definitely a Thatcher, definitely a Mira. I think definitely Kaid on this map in particular. I think, to be honest, Kaid actually is probably more powerful on Chalet than he is on Clubhouse, but I think people are just so used to seeing Kaid be an issue on Clubhouse that it's going to be a go-to ban. I think.
Think about
so it's going to be another unusual ban there, possibly a target ban from Katana. I'm not too sure, but they used Think as well, so maybe they just don't like how he's ran on this particular map.
We're afraid of Kitten playing Finker. I think he's going to get a little nasty on him. But yeah, I was just going to say, Banner would be a pretty interesting ban as well, because this would just enable the defense to play for impacts on the bottom floor and just force the attackers. Yeah, exactly. NeverLast are going to be, on their defensive half, they're going to be playing for impacts, and maybe on attack, since they might not be able to confidently get the kitchen hatch due to the impacts, they might try and do a dirt and blue rush or something like that, where they just focus on blue and just spearhead through there. Yeah, I also think it's actually a pretty well-seen ban now. She's just a powerhouse of a fragger, and entries can crutch on her very easily, and perhaps some teams still want to deal with it. A mirror ban going out, as you said. This isn't too surprising for us. We've seen a lot of mirror bans. Yeah.
We have. We're going to see. Oh, then there's the Azami ban. I had a feeling Azami may be banned, I'll be honest. I think it's becoming more and more of a common ban now in Siege in general and lots of different maps. I think maybe they didn't like. Again, it's an operator that both teams use, but I think Azami is just so powerful, especially on Clubhouse, because you can complete cut off doorways if you use 2 barriers, for example, at once.
Oh yeah.
That can be incredibly powerful in the right situation. Going out to the church though for Katana, that setup does the castle makes me think that it could be an SSG hold. But we'll see what they go for. I'd expect it to be the case. Yeah, that hatch being open doesn't.
Totally.
SSG hold.
Well, maybe even a full SSG.
There's no one up to open up the hatch unless you're going for an SSG.
It might not be a full SSG. They could just play middle floor, perhaps. I mean, I guess we'll find out.
That's true. Yeah, very, very true. I mean, I think usually, for me though, SSG is usually more effective if you do a full-on one. But some teams aren't comfortable with it, or perhaps they know that NeverLast might not go for a top floor push. They have reinforced the blue hatch there to stop, or kind of hold that blue rush potential a bit more further. They are reinforcing strip side too, so maybe this is kind of a part of partial SSG, I should say. I'm not sure what they're going for actually. They are gonna. I think it might just be at the first floor. You might actually be correct here. It might just be a first floor roam with nothing on the top floor. Do you think NeverLast should go for that top floor, or do you think they should kind of just go straight for the site, seeing that there's basically 2 people on site?
Well, going for site directly is pretty risky. NeverLast are obviously a competent team. I think they can just go on the windows and clear them through CC or split push the CC and Jacuzzi, and just they can clear it with no worries. Looks like Kitten will be entering into Garage right now, very early on. Only 30 seconds into a round. He knows that there could be a player around Lounge or Secret. He shoots a default cam. A drone will be going out. He's just holding red. He thinks one's going to be able to rotate around the red stairs, and he's just going to deny it. Swiss will peek into top red. They have CC control instantly, and Malusi will be over in like Logi/Master side. Buck will just try and track him down. Legion will be wasting time on the middle floor with his castle barricade. James will use a Selma to get rid of it. Prophet will impact kitchen hallway, and he'll be getting kind of aggressive here onto Stark. 2 minutes left. They've already wasted like about 30 seconds to a minute. Shady will be holding this angle, just cautiously swinging again.
Oh, he runs.
He'll be holding him inside, and he gets a free pick onto Malusi. Oh, from Prophet gets smoked as well. Shady with 2 incredibly important picks with the ARX here. This will be opening the pull window. He decides not to, and he'll rotate around. He has those Buck can openers, so he perhaps use those to great effect to open some hatches. James will claim more off the flank, and he will just try and relocate around to somewhere. So this will be working trying to make a vert angle into the side. And there's 1 minute 30 seconds left into 5 versus 3 situation for NeverLast, and this is very promising for them.
It absolutely is, but there's a flank from strip side. The one thing they haven't checked with the attack is that strip side of the map, and Alkias going to be stuck inside a bathroom. Might have no issues a shot. That could be an issue. Did they have heard that shot? They're going to know where he's coming from. Oh no,
Gerald!
Another
Gerald!
Oh no, the pre-fire comes out. He can't land the shots, and Gerald's only half HP, and now he's being pushed from another different position. He's being pushed by James.
Maverick.
He's pushing from the strip side, but Swish does it instead, as Ace is looking completely the wrong direction, sadly. But Kitten's got a pick in the meantime as well on the bomb site. So now Future is left in the 1v4, takes out one, but is sprinting through the hallway when he should not be.
Wow.
And I do say don't run in the hallways, and that is why, as Ace there being punishing him.
Wow.
I was a bit worried about that castle, but
yeah Castle kind of just yeah, obviously he was undetected because Gerald was just working like on the hatch, just chilling, and then he just started getting shot from behind. Obviously dies, but that was a little panic spray from Castle there. We know Alfred's better than that. We saw his little one tap on smoke last game. Maybe just nerves. We don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, I think discipline is a very important factor to have as a Siege player. You want to be able to shoot only when you need to. I think had he waited maybe like a few more seconds, he could have actually gotten 2 picks. He could have got the Ace as well as the Maverick, I believe it was, on a hatch. If he had waited for them both to go for a hatch drop, he could have actually killed them both from above inside of Moto. Could have been a huge issue and probably would have won his team the round ultimately. But nothing was. I think the one thing that was not being stopped though was Kitten inside of blue there, pushing down the blue stairs. Managed to get 1 pick and could have easily got the second as well had that not been for that Lucy Banshee as well, the barbed wire inside of blue. Then could have caused a load of issues. He's now going to be Future, as well as Alfred making some setup on the strip side as we go into the bar stage, which is a more of a common pick than it used to be on old Clubhouse.
Yeah.
I think these Aruni holes will be very good for holding long angles. I think holding strip side is very important for this bomb site. If you take control of strip too quickly, you can go for a plant side of pool really easily. That's not going to be what NeverLast are going for. Instead, it's going to be a kind of CC-sided take, and they're probably going to look to apply some vertical pressure from.
Yeah, you're totally right there. Looks like what we're doing. We're just going to clear. Clear here. They already have CC control. The defense have given it up very easily. And Swiss will just be waiting around red stairs just to follow the Yana clone in to clear out the top floor further. Lobo will be having a shield here onto Condor just to deny any attackers. Swiss will be swinging in, just trying to wallbang into construction, just trying to find any unsuspecting defenders.
He's waiting for the peak to come through, but nothing's happening yet. They are going to use the thermite on a single wall in construction from the other side, rather than what we're used to. And that's going to mean that it's a little bit more vulnerable. The alibi here of Lubo, who's just holding up a tight picks angle on that door. Oh, we could get a peek. Oh, there's someone very close to peeking his crosshairs, but doesn't quite land. And below the alibi business, you see the pings coming through of the alibi prisoner catching someone off guard, and that's going to be Shady getting the opening pick instead of the kitchen. I think that was a peek from the kitchen window, trying to get an easy kill onto him, maybe a bit of a run out, but it was expected by Shady there. It's going to be Lubo playing in bedroom still, now moved over to bathroom. You don't want to sit in the bathroom too long though, he can be naded very easily and quickly. Now he's instead going to go for a swing inside of construction, a risky play, but could wield high rewards if he's able to get the pick.
Yeah, we're just desperately trying to get the man count back now, and it's a 5 versus 4. We have wasted about 2 minutes here, and we have the Osa positioned in kitchen hallway, so they're going to have to maybe play Vert into sight. on the construction hatch, but I believe there's a player up there. I mean, this isn't looking good for defense here. We'll have to pull something out like a magician. LKS will be behind the bar, just waiting to play off of his echo cams, and Prophet will be playing top down into kitchen, I believe. Future will have a long range jungle with a DMR, just trying to snipe away at the stock player. He just relocates. He's holding a pixel now. If they know he's here, it might be dangerous for him. But Lubo will be holding stock from above, and he will be getting destroyed from the rappel somewhere. Yeah, James will be prone on the roof, just holding the construction hatch, and he finds the kill. Now it's a 5 versus 2. This isn't looking great for Katana now. They smoke up the side.
They're very stuck right now. They are going for the plant though. There's going to be still Future playing inside of the bar. Basically, oh no, a peek push again comes in from James. He's outside, and now the plant's going down inside that smoke. And he gets the might try to get the second, does get the second as well. Now to 3v1, but there's Kitten again doing great work on that arm to get that final kill. And it's a much more confident start here for NeverLast on Clubhouse.
Yeah, I think they went wrong, but I mean, perhaps you might want to put up like a player like a 1mai or someone like that aggressively in green box, just trying to contest that like CC push, because they had like construction and everything they needed basically instantly. They didn't really play that shield much either. I'm pretty sure it got destroyed instantly. And yeah, I mean, they just basically just funneled through the top floor, they just got killed. I mean, it's unfortunate for Katana here. Perhaps they need to work on their bar a little more. They're definitely better at the other side. So they go back to basement here with a very aggressive-looking lineup with a Mute, Mozzie, Castle, Melusi. And also, I assume that Smoke will be playing alone in Siam and having like 4 Omas. Again, as the SSG style you said before, can be very strong. Alpha to be making all sorts of rotations to side. Okay, I thought you opened kitchen hatch there, but you're just making impact recalls. Since Habana is banned, they'll be able to use the impacts from Melusi to make sure you don't get kitchen hatch. And he'll be using the barricades the castle barricades to like basically use them as cover so they can rotate into safety. Making Chronos into stock. Yeah, this tells me that they're going to be doing the same bar roam like they did last time. Let's see if Shady will be able to pick him off again, or perhaps he'll get picked off himself. James will switch onto the sledge here, and Swiss will get onto the jackal. This could mean that they're going to maybe try and like bring a jackal to try and clear these roamers a lot easier, because they've noticed that they're roaming a lot. They've extended into strip as well. They're now playing for that late flank, and if LKS can keep his nerves in check, he'll be able to be very, very deadly.
Yeah, absolutely will be. Let's see if they can succeed in this bomb site the second time of asking. We're going to have James opening that cast back to Feifei quickly, and here comes Swiss. Feifei quickly pushing through Strip Club. We get a peek onto Cost, who's exposed himself and tries to run away. And that's LKS being shut down once again on the Strip side. There's going to be another person on their way, though, to support. I believe that wasn't Melusi, or at least someone around the bathroom area. That's me, actually Mozzie of Prophet, trying to support his teammate, but can't quite get in the right position. But Melusi's in a much better position inside of gym right now. Very tight angle, though. That's the only problem with this peak. So it's hard to find the actual kill. Sledge might be able to walk through that position, and he does instead walks through the gym, the pool window, gets reduced to low HP. That should really be a kill into James there. I think he could aimed a little bit higher with his crosshair, would have guaranteed that pick, but instead he's going to remain alive here, and he's going to be roaming around the construction side, and now Kitten's pushing through. Ashford, does he expect a push? Yes, he does. James is taking out. Kitten. Lubo fragging out of his mind right now. 4v3 now for the attack. That's 2 very important frags off the board. The 2 fraggers, in fact. That's going to be James with his actual frag grenades and Kitten with all of their utility. So it's now going to be left down to the Maverick, who's still a hard breach, has 1 nade left. Jackal can't really do a huge amount because, well, actually, he could do some cause some damage because there is still a Roma of Lubo playing on that top floor, but he's not been found out yet with the Dragon track. And now he's a little bit stuck inside of Cash, but could continue to waste time. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's going to be Swiss, trying to push him out of construction, but Peaks sees him, but nobody lands a shot, and now the wallbang's going to come through. But
what the hell was that?
Punished for it, and now does as Shady pushes him 5-0 right now. Shady makes it a 3v3 in a much fairer fight going into this execute.
Yeah, Melusi just decided to resort to demolitions there and just lobs an impact grenade into construction. I mean, maybe a questionable decision, but now it's a 3 versus 3. There's only 40 seconds left, and that means that the attack are going to have to rush into site now. I believe Maverick hasn't used any of his gas right now, and he's going to, because Motor Hatch is already open. Shady will be pushing down Secret now, and 2 guys will be on Motor Hatch. They'll be pushing site. Alfred uses all of his smokes now. So, I mean, they have like about 20 seconds to work with. Shady will be pushing up. He uses his other nade to try and dislodge a smoke on the generator. There's a guy on box too. Does he know? Okay, they just Okay, now we have to funnel through Moto. Maverick gets killed, and now it's Swiss in a 1 versus 2. He'll have to pick up the pieces, but the Mew has run away into Oil Pit, and this is basically unwinnable for him, but Profit finds the final kill. And that was a very interesting round. Malusi just did the solo lurk-style Roman, just got 2 picks, and then he just wasted a load of time up there to clear him again. And he nearly found the Jackal, did a load of damage to Jackal as well. And because there's no Thinker, they can't stim themselves back up to fully operating conditions.
Yeah, he wasted a load of time on the top floor, and he remained alive. That's the important thing, because roaming isn't all about getting kills. Getting kills is fantastic, but staying alive on that top floor and being just present was so powerful there in deciding that round. And had that Melusi been killed, probably would have been a potentially a round win for the attack. But because they were stuck upstairs still with like 30 seconds to go, they were screwed when he went down to they had to drop the motor hatch, they had to funnel through. Moto, as you were saying, they had to just try and push anywhere. The fragmentation in the side of Katana, we've seen it be so prevalent in Chalet, and it continues onto Clubhouse. Now to go back to gyms, they've seen the full rotation now for all the bomb sites. Apart from CCTV, we haven't seen CCTV yet. That's probably going to be their next choice if they win this site, potentially. But nobody likes CC these days. People just are a bit too used to attacking it, so people prefer to go to sites like Gym instead. We've seen no Frostball out again by Profit. Could be cause some issues, but for me, I don't know if it has that much impact on Clubhouse.
No, I think it totally has an impact on Jim. You just perhaps do it on the side jumping windows, because again, as we said before, if you're holding that, they either die to the cross trap or die to you. I think he's also might do the one onto Logi, so when they try to push Logi, they might catch out an unsuspecting attacker. Yeah, he's got one onto Logi to master jumping, and he's got one in bathrooms. This could be very, very lethal for the defense here, and Profit will just be playing around Cash, just playing around Greenbox, and Katana will be trying to get shield line. I haven't seen that one before. Looks like a very weird shield. And they're already in Garage with no contention from a defense within like 30 seconds, not even that, and Shady will be trying to sneak up on the defenders, and he finds Profit just smokes him, denied, and now Lubo will just be in green box. They're going to fall off here because they have opened the wall.
They've reinforced this wall. They've reinforced the rotate actually. Oh, okay. I was about to say I kind of thought they reinforced the wall on its own. They've actually reinforced the rotate. It's meant to allow the attack having like one less angle onto them. They have given up basically full control of Cash if they want to say leave construction. So there you go. They've left construction now, so that's going to give them full control at that side of the map. And now that Frostman, I was expecting a Frostman to be placed here on this jump in rotate into Logi. So that's now placed down, meaning that the attackers have to be a little bit more aware when he jumps through that rotate, which will almost certainly happen. And now there's still some presence from Lubo though. He's below on the blue stairs. Oh no, Sledge knows, I think. So here, Switch going to be pushing down. Oh no, Jaeger looks away.
Oh, he looks away. Siege timing.
And that's going to be the refire coming through on to Lubo. And roaming not doing so well here, the side of Katana so far on Clubhouse.
Yeah, it's a 4 versus 4 now, and defensive luck wasted a load of time. We've got Frost posted up in Logi, and we have the SMG-11 next to side. Kitten's just going to be on construction window. We'll have to take this construction and Logi control fast, and James is on Logi hatch now. Accidentally flashbangs himself. He also flashbangs Mute in the process. He's just waiting to push. I believe he's going to drop, and then Ace is going to swing at the same time. That's going to try and kill this guy in gold. He swings out, nearly finds one with a shotgun. Swings one. He also slides
gets two picks with the swing. Whoa. There's Beecher making up 4v2. It looks like it's going to be the equalizer here for the side of Katana. Now another pushing position through here. It's going to be Feature looking for the 3k on the ramp. Potentially the 4k if he gets the last one. Here comes the fear, but the pre-cover of the LMG is a bit too much to handle. And there's only 30 seconds to go. James and Kitten being the last two attackers remaining in a 3v2.
Yeah, Kitten takes logic control here, and he's just trying to find picks. James is going to swing into Fletcher's construction door, but he gets picked off by the castle. They know where Kitten is, and he just gets taken out, unfortunately. Again, they keep on using the smoke FMG and using smoke very aggressively. Usually, most teams use a shotgun, because you can obviously use it in close quarters, like we saw from Mute there. You can, also it's an option to play smoke with FMG, so long as you have another shotgun in your lineup, and you can kind of like almost roam with them and play them very aggressively. Teams like G2 on Chalet were doing that quite a while ago, and Citizen made that a big thing for some teams. They will go bar again here, and perhaps they may want to adapt and extend into Cash this time. We'll see how that turns out. But I noticed they put Future in Strip here with a DMR, because that has so much potential at range to do a lot of damage to the attackers.
It does, or perhaps maybe even like a 2x scope. Like even if you really want to avoid a bit of like something like that with a 2-time scope, which meant that you can have an even longer angle. The Rook doesn't really offer a amount of utility, sadly. It does offer some armor, I guess, but in competitive siege isn't really seen a huge amount. Looks at the same setup though. I'm not sure anything's changed since they last went to bar, which was only round number 2, so only a couple of rounds ago. I like the Echo choice. I didn't see Echo really use his drones to disorientate people. I think it was more used for intel. I think the Echo is playing quite safe behind the bar, as he rightfully should be. You want to keep the Echo alive for as long as you can, but sadly you cannot survive long enough to actually deny the plant or do any damage later on. And then he was a bit useless really. He was kind of behind the bar, shot a few shots, but didn't really do a huge amount with his actions. So unlucky for him. Let's see if he can change that this round. We're going to see again the future playing with that DMR instead of strip.
Yeah, he will open
on the knock. I mean, that's God knows what he's going to do here.
Yeah.
He could do just about anything. Looks like he's favouring maybe a tunnel push. Would be a very long way of doing it. Yeah, he's going to rotate another direction. But in the meantime, it's going to be another CTV style push here for NeverLast.
The NeverLast drone economy is looking very good here, and I just wanted to point out, Future did open the strip to main hallway. He opened the hatch over there, you see? Perhaps that means that they could rotate a yokai over there and send it up the hatch to get some info on the attackers outside. I'm just thinking, what else would you open that? James will use his Flores to clear the construction shield again. Perhaps I'll be able to shoot it this time. I don't think so. That's the shield possibly gone. Shady will be joining kitchen hallway. Perhaps he might try and enter through kitchen or something like that and create a play for NeverLast. Gerald will open the same construction wall, and I think he saw it. I don't know what he saw there under radio, but Swiss. He's just reaching shot.
He opened the breach behind him, I think. Yeah, he just opened the breach right behind him. That could have been a little bit dangerous. I haven't seen that kind of play before, but I guess the wall open anyway. There's been a good amount of control gained here in the first half of the round. A little bit slow, I would say, because you want to take control of the full top floor by this point, I would argue, or at least within the next 30 seconds or so, to get a chance to plan out full execute. And you can do that. You can do a push from this amount of control, because you only really need CCV and cache to stop any vertical pressure directly onto where you're planting. The most kind of, I guess, dangerous position would be the construction hatch, which right now is supposed to have a lockdown. You've seen the Echo Cam. So he knows where that is, but
he's taking damage
to his feet here.
Cade will throw out a C4 for some reason. I don't know, or mute even. Yeah, he throws out a C4.
The hell? He just hasn't detonated it. Okay. I guess maybe he knew it was too short. I think maybe he threw it from Logi and it was a bit too shallow, so he just thought, oh, right, definitely not going to kill anyone.
Prophet and Luba will be closing in on the players in cash right now, just trying to get aggressive. And Kitten picks off Alfred halfway across the map, and James will be holding the same angle again. 1 minute left, well, less than a minute now left. James hears him proning, and perhaps he might pull up and kill him again. Gerald kills.
No. Oh, he just misses him.
Oh dear.
And now probably going to kill onto the person inside of Cash, but now James is going to drop down onto the alibi respectively. But and again he picks it. He's going to be peeking out from inside of Cash.
They will
now,
double
and then
swing.
peek by the alibi, but neither of them can land the bullets. And in the meantime, the rest of their team are dying on the site. Shade's pushed in, and now Prophet does get that kill to James.
Oh no, they have side control.
By peeking the window. Plon's going down.
Kids watching
Hatch. Kid gets both of them.
And that goes to show how powerful this OLMG is. It's so good for those multi-kills like that. He just gets he just sprays and just doesn't even need to reload in a round. It's just so powerful. And yeah, that's why we're getting nerfed at the moment. We're going to be getting a recoil nerf, definitely. They'll decide to go basement here. They'll be playing the same roam heavy lineup. They'll probably end up opening Metal Hatch again and putting the castle in strip. And Kitten will still be playing with Zofia. He obviously loves his LMGs, gets his multi-kills. And they have not got a hard breacher unless they are using a Buck hard breach gadget. Now, this is perfectly fine if all you're getting is hatches. You can perfectly be fine with and get away with some sort of can opener secondary gadget. You could play Ying, Buck, Capital, any one of those operators, and then you get away a lot more utility than you otherwise would have.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Could be an idea. Because hobby guys I feel like are a little bit underused by teams, especially with the amount of operators that have them now. I think teams should definitely make more use of it if they want to open hatches or open anything really. Hatches are usually the most efficient way of using them, because we've always only open a tiny wall, which is only a limited vision to the site. But now we're back in the basement for the final defensive round, so nothing really to say here for this setup. They are using I think the same lineup. I don't know if Malusi was part of this SSG hold, or kind of, I guess, half SSG last time. I want to say maybe it was, but the actual key components of it, which is the castle primarily, as well as the meat there and the Mozzie, those are still in play, and there's going to be a lot of drones being denied on this first floor. Well, I think this time, maybe NeverLast have realised that it's kind of a very heavy hold outside the site, and he might go for a bit of a rush.
Wait, why doesn't Gerald just buck that soft wall? Why has he used a hard breach on that? Surely he could just buck it. Anyway,
maybe
they will be
less
pushing.
noise? I don't know.
I wouldn't say it's an explosive versus a couple of shotgun shots. It's kind of debatable. They will be sneaking up into dirt right now. I don't think defense know. There's only like 2 guys in sight. And they're also pushing blue as well. They hold from stairs back into sight. They literally have side control. This is a free round. They'll rush in, get into in. Can he find the smoke? No, he cannot. He'll spray with the LMG. Cannot find the guy. Yana finds Castle, and Gerald will be, Swiss even. Swiss will be getting the plant down. Alpha will be trying to. Kitten gets. Okay, this is a great rush from NeverLast here. Very interesting. Lubo will have to retake now. Finds one. Kitten will get picked up now. He finds Kitten. He reloads, and he just doesn't have enough bullets to deal with all of them. That very valiant effort from Malusi there, and a couple of nice shots as well. Now, yeah, that's how you counter an SSG roam. You just kind of bum rush blue and dirt and just hope for the best. And I'm pretty sure NeverLast showcased a very good example of that. Another round swap. 4-2 split. Pretty good for NeverLast. We're sitting pretty here. They decide to go basement. They are bringing Wamai here. Yeah, we're bringing Wamai. Perhaps they're using it to deny any possible hard breach going onto the kitchen hatch because Hibana is banned. And they also might definitely have Melusi impacts and possibly Valk impacts. So they get the information and they also have quite a bit of utility denial. Very interesting lineup here. Kind of interesting how they haven't played Jaeger. I mean, I would maybe play Jaeger, because then you don't get impacts with Jaeger. So I think it's pretty cool.
I was about to say that. Yeah, I was about to say that there's no Jaeger on the defensive side, which, I mean, yes, we might do the same job, but there are certain limitations to him. In fact, obviously, you have to generate those Midas, and I think he does bring impacts, but maybe both would be nice. And missing out the Jaeger completely, I'm not a huge fan of, especially because you can only throw some Midas in certain locations and at a certain speed. You have to generate. They could quite well to generate too, and with Jaeger, you can place them all down instantly. In my opinion, I think this weapon is a little bit stronger than the MP5K. But, you know, I guess maybe this can, maybe NeverLast just don't prefer not to bring a Jaeger. This particular site, maybe will work out well. He actually has the Orc, James. The
Orc is basically what old Jaeger was, with literally no recoil, high damage. But I think most players do prefer the MP5, since you do get the 1.5 scope, and if you have pretty good crosshair placement, you can be very deadly with it. Yeah, and as you said, I'm pretty sure we're playing Wamai over Jaeger here exclusively for the impacts. Katana will clear through Jacuzzi here. I don't think we have any players over on CC. They'll just funnel through the Jacuzzi side, and I believe Beth will rotate to Logiac to cut off any rotates. So Yana clone out Bathroom and Gym.
I think Kitten was just seen outside of the gym. If he hadn't been droned out there, could have been potentially a lot of kills for him as he pushed through the breach, but they're going to be taking control of top floor first. So I think this is the first one to be full top floor roam clear now, with looks like everyone on the attack going for this top floor clear, looking to clear out all of the roam presence. In this case, it's 2 people. It's going to be the Mute and the Valkyrie respectively, and they're looking to take control quite quickly, and they will need to because they have 2 floors to clear. So this is the risk you take about doing a top floor clear. So you don't do it fast enough, you basically have kind of lost the round by default because you don't have enough time to push through into the site, and that can be a big issue for these players.
Yeah, totally.
On the window. He's been out this window for the last minute and a half nearly. So he's going to try and at least push something right now because his team are a little bit slow in the drone game right now, and Walker's in the scene in the corner in this kind of wrap position. Let's hope so. I think they're kind of ignoring Cash Side a little bit. They're just focusing purely on getting control of the bedroom. There's a C4. They steer them to G11, and they can cause a lot of problems in here. Comes a slow flank Kitten. Lubit's going to push down main stairs in the meantime, though, taking out Lucy, but still ever present here. Takes out Buffer, takes out one, takes out Future. And now he just runs away, but he's staying here, which could be a mistake. But lucky for him, the attack are not pushing him.
Yeah, we're just letting him be. I don't think Lubo will be on main stairs here. He has a drone watching into the sky. And Alfred will be playing top down. And 1 minute left. You have to speed this up. Prophet will be questionably using Zoe AR over the LMG with angles with all things. That's kind of questionable in my opinion. But yeah, 45 seconds left now, and they will have to execute. Kitten will rotate back into sight here after getting his pick onto Burke. And Swiss has a C4 prep. They won't hear the nitro cell. He gets sent out, but Lubo thankfully falls back to get on cams or something, and he doesn't fall victim to that nitro cell. So this will reposition into Moto here, just off main stairs, but he decides not to. Gerald will be in dirt here. He will be able to start smoking off the drop here. Yeah, and he does. 20 seconds left. He's matching his smokes to a push. Like, it's a clever decision here. Lubo will be holding the main angle, and so long as they hold all the angles, they can go for an execute here very easily. Kitten will have a C4 rip ready to go. And he sends it out, but the Katana's planting Chala. He's getting the bomb down halfway. They'll have to stop his plant now, but I think he can get it down. The bomb goes down. And the Thermite gets killed, but it's a 2 versus 2 now, and they have the top-down angle, and then Lubo on main stairs. Oh, James finds him, yep, and then the last guy is pulling up on the hallway. 1 versus 1 situation here. He swings out and finds the Wamai. Lubo has nerves of steel there. He stays on main stairs and gets a nice little 2-piece to finish the round with. And overall, that was a great
good round from that Iana. Applied pressure early on, and then stayed and kind of secured that pressure and made sure no one could contest her at all. Fantastically well played, yeah, really worked well. For Katana, they were, despite the disruption on the top floor, it had no issue because they had that firm control. They made the defenders a little more nervous to stay where they were, and it worked out very well in their favor. And it gives them a 4-3 scoreline. I think had it been 5-2, could have been a bit more risky, but 4-3 is a lot more comfortable. Puts them 1 round away for making it 4-4 and basically making it 0-0 again. And they're going to bar now for their second defensive rounds, and they're bringing Maestro but no Echo and no Castle this time, so a bit of no Rooney either, so a bit of a different setup to what Katana would have made of it. But they have the run that shot. This shot is really nice at making head holes on the Maestro here, and can cause a lot of damage. I think it does have it on 5 times scope, so it might have 2 times scope, so even longer than a Rooney's DMR, which could be, I would say, a better choice perhaps, because as well as having a great scope, he also has a fantastic camera which can win team ground potentially.
Yeah. Also, he can remotely use those as well. So if he can just bunker up in the strip, he can remotely use his Maestro to deny a plant or just taser utility away. They're running for Echo and Maestro in conjunction here, so this is a very Intel plant denial focused lineup here. They have the mute as well to maybe waste some time, and they also have the Wamai instead of Jaeger. Maybe just perhaps they think you get a little bit more out of Wamai over time if he can survive. Alfred will be having his little rappel angle, and he gets in a little duel with Wamai. They'll be peeking him from 2 different players. There's a little double peek, and Alfred will be very scared to peek now. He just focuses on the gym one, and the construction player should be pretty safe now. He rotates back to his shield, and he's perfectly safe. Lubo will be clearing rafters out. 2 drones going into red, 1 going down into the lounge to act as a flank cam, and then the other going into cash. Lubo will vault in, and he'll swing into green box. I'm pretty sure he knows it's clear since it's all been droned out for him, and he will just be trying to push up into the construction. Now, I've noticed that they have those impact trick holes onto the construction single wall, and this means that they've played Wamai for the impact, so they can, when they see Gerald go for the, or not Gerald, even when we see LKS go for the thermite, he can just impact it, as we can see here. He's got to thread it through that tiny little gap. Can he do it? Yeah, that's one impact out, and that's 1 thermite denied. But Lugo has cottoned onto it, and he'll be on scrap now, just trying to peek onto him to stop him doing that again. Alfred will just have a little engagement with Kitten here, and he'll fall off the side of the roof. And the explosive will go out, just finding him. Nice little long arm there from Kitten. Kitten is having a very good performance today. He's 10-4. So this will just be gunned up on the shield now, holding the Yana. 1 minute, 20 seconds left. They're definitely wasting a lot of time, and of course they can play off of those yokais as well. Even though Farmer Gerald's -5 right now, he has 2 plants, and he is giving very good information to the team. Swiss will pit sweep out the window, and he'll get destroyed by the Zoe AR with the angled grip, which is a goofy combination when you have the LMG, but it's working out for him. He concusses the gym player, and he just gets...
Okay. My God, what a shot.
How many shots like that have we seen from Kitten today? The guy is just built there. 1 minute left, and he decides to fall back. Maybe got a call from the IGL. Fuchi will just be holding the Logi flank, so this is effectively a 2 versus 2 on site, but James can still pull out his phone and just use his Maestro cams here. Katana will just be outside stock. I believe he has the breach.
I believe he's about to get the breach. Yeah, he's about to get the breach off. So that means he has a good amount of control. There's still some lurking presence here of Maestro, who is just hiding here, waiting for the time to go on his cameras.
Roaming Maestro shotgun. Yeah.
He does the shotgun as well, which means he can defend himself a little bit from Fiji. He might be pushing into his position here, but he has walked straight past him. One of the shots go out. He saw him, I think, in the corner of his eye.
He's been detected. He's prone in the little closet now.
He doesn't know he's there. Trying to push him. Oh no, he's just picked off anyway. And now he's down to the thermite on his own. And now he has a bunch of time to produce his health as well as get him killed from his teammates. He's pretty stuck
one.
here. He gets 1 kill, which is very good.
That's the plan.
This can be denied so easy here with the Maestro camera from actually from
You're
both the
right,
Maestro camera and from the Echo Kuro.
Bro was in the basement. Bro just legged it to the basement.
Yeah, I'm
He
saying
knows he can
Charlotte, because
accept his
that means
echo
he doesn't really need to fight, because as long as his drones stay up, then he can easily deny it. As long as he doesn't miss his Echo drone shot, it's absolutely fine, and it gives NeverLast that 5-3 lead. I think a more confident showing on our defense compared to what we saw from Katana. They felt like it was more in control.
Definitely.
They had good pressure from upstairs, and they kept James alive too, which meant that the OC was forced to focus their attention there. I think, to be honest with you, OC could just run down main and try and just do a side push, and then if they need to, then it doesn't really matter as much if the Maestro is alive, because at least they can try and get a plant down and maybe try and just predict the Maestro coming in the process. But instead, with 50 seconds to go, she hyper-focused on that Maestro instead of Rodri. And it kind of makes her a bit stuck, and that was not ideal for her whatsoever. It left them completely alone with no one to cover his plant, which resulted in him having to go for the kill there in that final moment of the round. He had a Maestro camera on him as well as an Echo drone. I forgot to mention the Echo completely, and I thought they had basically double the intel compared to what we saw from Katana, who had only the Echo, I believe, on their defense. So clearly the intel worked out well, helped them know where the enemy was pushing from, and they won the round in the end. We are going to go down to the basement side again, which they have a 1-1 record on. Actually, on their defense anyway, they have an 0-1 record, but overall, they've won it once and lost it once on their attacks. They've got a mixed record overall on both sides. Let's see if they can redeem themselves though from that last round. They have what looks like a similar lineup to what they had last time. A duo roam here on the top floor with Kitten and Swiss. Kitten here again with that shotgun in hand on the gym window. This time though, no one is peeking him, and rightfully so.
Yeah, I mean, that basement round that they lost was down to a 1v1 with the Yana versus the Wamai, and that was very close. It could have gone either way, and very easily NeverLast could be on match point right now. Just little things like that. They will clear through Jacuzzi's side again like last time, and Alfred will take damage from the MPX of Swiss. Kitten will again find a kill with Cybertruck Hollow, and he will get tagged through the soft wall, but he will relocate to construction, just trying to just play as this phantom presence in Greenbox, and he decides that he's had enough of it, and he will just rotate back to garage and maybe even go back to site. 2 minutes left, and I don't think Katana know that the top floor is actually clear. They still think there's a guy up here. It will drone it out and playing very cautiously. And yeah, that's your Zofia as well. I mean, that's that entry player gone, and also he's actually one of the higher fraggers on the team as it should be, since he is on entry, and that's him gone, which is unfortunate. See how it plays out. They've also played the Maestro here as well, so they can also use these cams. And also he has an incredibly powerful Alda, the little minigun to play the bottom to top angles with. Does he know the Buck's on the top floor? I don't think he does. Buck will be using his skeleton key to get the range. Critical present. Oh, and he'll just get picked off by Lubo here on main stairs. Trading off the board. 4 versus 4 now. 1 minute left. James will just have a nice little punch hole onto short hallway here. And he'll be burning his one mine mag, which he sends out another one, but it doesn't really go his way, and he gets shot out. Gerald will still be in dirt with 3 smokes with about 50 seconds left. They will decide to open Moto hatch, and they may convert this into a Moto take if they don't feel like pushing the dirt and kitchen hatches.
They may very well do so. Yeah, they're waiting for the right time to push though. They had to destroy the utility first, rather than the Maestro camera inside of Army, having to use up a nade on that. And they're going to go for the side push. They have destroyed the Maestro camera now, which means they are lacking that information a little bit. The defensive side. We have again Lube playing on the bottom of main stairs, so it's going to cause a lot of problems. But if James gets the right peek onto Iona, it could cause a lot of problems. But all I want to do is just sit in that same position, and they'll be absolutely fine. And the hash drop does come through and gets kicked off by Gerald with the smoke canister itself. Gets that point, it's that kill, and now James is he has Iona lockdown here and takes her out, and now it's down to Future in the 1v4. Instead of Moto gets picked off by the Valkyrie. So great work there by Decide and NeverLast to make it a match point for them and make it 1-1 in this series. I think again they just wasted a lot of time. We've seen this in both teams actually. We saw it from NeverLast on Chalet, and now it's turned to an issue for Katana on Clubhouse. We're going to finally see a tactical timeout from Katana. I guess it's better left late than never. They have now 60 seconds to decide what to really do to change this map up and give them a fighting chance in this series. They have to win 3 rounds in a row to make it overtime. We do have I believe it's going to be Katana on attack in overtime. So it has switched from the side they started on. I think that could be an issue. But I mean, if they win 3 rounds in a row right now, then clearly their attacks aren't so bad. But I do worry here because they seem to be really struggling to shut down the NeverLast defense.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more promising performance here from NeverLast juxtaposed to their Chalet performance. But I think they're sticking to the defaults and they're just playing a little more aggressively and keeping that control, and it's paying off for him pretty well. And of course, Ducky has been getting a load of picks left, right, and center, just helping his team out. And of course, Gerald, he's fragging, but I'm sure he's calling stuff from the back.
I'm sure so. Yeah, I mean, sometimes some IGLs, aren't kind of the main fraggers in the team. They're more kind of the leaders, and they're more to motivate people more than anything. So that sometimes can make a difference. All right, so that's what have we done there? But now we go down to CCV. Oh, the first time we're going to see CCV chosen in this entire game, and it's I guess better late than never. You could say the best will last for some teams who play CCTV first. A lot of teams, they don't like that. They go for that CCTV site last. I think Katana will probably be most confident pushing this site out of all the bomb sites. However, they will need, I think, a second hard breach. Buck may have the hard breach gadget, but I think having something like a banner or an ace at least to join this thermite will allow them to open up an angle on the garage wall, specifically that kind of top left area of the garage wall to get an angle onto rafters. And that's a very important angle to take control of, and as well as just to open up the garage wall a bit more easily. That can be done with the Buck, and that Maverick is also going to help with opening up the wall. So there's probably going to be a meat jam on there. Yeah, there's going to be a meat jam on the main wall, but that'll be easily dealt with by that Maverick. I'm surprised I haven't seen much Maverick in this series. I believe it's the first time, or one of the first times we've seen him. I think he was used a little bit on Chalet, but he's definitely a lot more useful on Clubhouse.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think the nerves are here for Katana are kind of high. They've got to win 3 rounds in a row now. They don't have any room for error. They have burned their timeout right now. Perhaps they could have done it a little bit before, so like when we were a few rounds down, and then they would have had a little leeway to lose a round. But now it's literally all or nothing. It's do or die for them here. They would continue to do their jacuzzi clear, even though they are in CC. And it looks like Burke will be going to Logic Hatch. And this could be a con take. Shady will be positioned in strip, just maybe with a punch shot, just trying to seek out any of the unsuspecting attackers on their rappel. Prophet and Yana will just be doubled up here outside jacuzzi, just pushing 2 minutes now, and they really need to get this clear going. I hope they leave a main flank cam and someone watches it, otherwise like Jaeger's going to be a very, very big threat for them. Libo's just holding the main stairs for now, and he pushes into Master. I'm pretty sure he knows that it's all clear, so he can just push up with no worries. They have construction control already. They'll need to rotate a hard breach over. I thought they positioned Alfred on the main breach just to like map open the wall and just hold CC. Yeah, exactly like this. They used a thermite charge on it, but he's got a huge hole now. He can just hold run across. This means that he can just basically cover the plant from his little sniper's nest over here in warehouse next to the dog cages. Libo will be breaking that, just a nade over the top to remove that mute jammer, so then Thermite can do his thing and get the wall. And he just gets C4'd, but
he got to actually C4 the hatch and got the kill. So
exactly.
Beautiful visual there from Kitten, who's now 13-5 in the series. He's going to play that Thunderbird. I believe it's the first time we've seen Thunderbird in the series too. He's being able to peek the hatch and apply some pressure here. I personally would just run away here if I was Kitten. But someone who can't run away here is going to be Shady. He's taken off the board through that flank, which Prophet was watching out for.
Now he's wasting time though.
Too. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, the bar hatch angle, and he'll be rotating to the main stairs. He's just going to stay down here because he knows he can waste more time, and he knows he can back himself in a 50-50
Yeah.
Quickly reloads, and he's just going to get ready.
Go on.
He hears up Thermite's placing it. He's being
held.
He shoots it, and now they can't get main breach.
That's still good, because that means now LKS has no thermite charges left. And as you said, they cannot get that construction wall open. It's going to basically force them to funnel through construction door, which is like the worst door to push through in the entire game when doing execute. They are going to open the wall with that hard breach gadget. That's going to be a jump breach, which means they have to jump through it to get the structure through, which is going to be like mincemeat for this. For
James will. Okay.
Being a James, there's one. There's 2 for Elvin as he runs up the main trench. It could be the saving of the round. But no, it's now a 3v2. Still the advantage to the attack. Make that 3v1. Now it's all down to Swiss on the Romai, and somehow, some way, Katana make it work. They might have to funnel through one doorway, but they can still win the round.
Well, I mean, I have no idea how Katana have managed to pull that like play out and just win the game. Well, one other game around even. But yeah, Kitten played it up perfectly. He was below. He got a kill with his nitro cell, and then he shot the thermite, denying any sort of hard breach they had into the objective. And we had to rely on that can opener to get a tiny little entranceway into the bomb site. No, the thing is like that was very unlucky because 3 of them just got destroyed in lounge and bottom red. I mean, Kitten comes down to try to get a refrag, but he just gets flicked onto. And I mean, that was a very close round. NeverLast really should have won that. They got unfortunate. But to be fair, Katana did keep that cool, and they did salvage that round. And now they have another shot. 4-6 now. James will be back on his Maestro with the 2x with the shotgun. And they decide to reinforce stock off completely and not do the pronals. This tells me that they aren't going to be in strip, maybe, not playing that long angle. Maybe they'll have him in the top 4 again and on the double walls prone again, you know? Alright, and he'll play, yeah, same Maestro cam to deny the plan. I mean, I don't know about the Maestro cam. I don't think it sees the guitar plan. You know, one where you do it close right on the stock wall. I don't think it will see it, but perhaps he might use his second one somewhere. Eddie will be having his Malusi here in construction. We'll just be making little adjustments here and there. But yeah, Valby basically they realize that they keep on pushing through CC, and Valby just be able to slow them down. Gerald will do the default on construction door shields to try and hold scrap, and I believe Swiss will play that again, an impact trick for construction more like they did last time to great effect. Now, yeah, they will drone out Garage. Interestingly, the Yana will be droning herself in, and she does not have a hard breacher to do that for her. But she realizes Garage is clear, and she takes it. No, she's pushing up instantly. No re-drone, I believe. And Prophet will be positioned outside of CC, just peeking into CC. Just waiting for Yana to catch up to him and make him double up and run into green box, perhaps.
That could be the idea, and it would be quite an aggressive way of doing it, but definitely could work and catch the defenders off guard. There's going to be, again, quite a heavy on construction. We have Kitten playing with another shotgun in another part of the map. This time it's going to be construction. This sledge here is being used, actually, I think he sledged the wall here, which makes me think, I guess, yeah. What he's doing that for, actually. Usually you see that maybe for a Maverick trick. I'm unsure why he's doing it on this particular breach.
Excuse me, he's doing that basically so he has like a little bit of protection from the impact trick. There's a chance that the impact won't reach because it's embedded into the soft wall, so it might not get the complete range. They don't even have the impacts over there. And he's just throwing Kitten with his little boomstick over here, just holding the CC jump out. And he gets another one. Bro, what the hell is Katana doing?
And they've also thrown a nade over the wall and it hasn't destroyed the meat jammer yet. I'm sure you're not.
Go again?
Don't jump through.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. That was really good. I thought he was going to get 3 kills there. That's 2 opening frags for Kitten.
Yeah.
Gives him a 15 kills. Now that wall's finally going to be opened up. But have they destroyed the jammer? No, they haven't. The jammer's still alive because I think that was all Midas that blocked the nade, and it's meant they haven't been able to open the construction wall. That could be a big turning point in this round here. It's going to be Alfred running through the kitchen, though. A good way of doing it, and it's a good way to get a lot of angles into the site here, because the entire wall has head holes all over it. So there could be a lot of problems there for him, but James is fully aware of it here. He's watching the angle as he's pushing it through. He's also fully aware of his presence and takes him off the board with a couple of taps to the head. And now Nathan now enough to play that 5v1 is getting us another kill to his tally now of 15 kills. And it's all down to the Kitten, who's left with Swiss to deal with, who's inside a bathroom, gets that final kick as well. I think right there, the thing that won that round was Kitten playing construction. And despite him doing that very smart play, they just couldn't nade that meat jammer. A meat jammer won them the game here on the Clubhouse. And that is not something I think I'd ever say.
I mean, totally. I mean, maybe if Katana put a guy on a rappel outside the hold con window, like James was doing on the Flores on attack, they could have found more success there because they just allowed the guy to just play close with a shotgun and just get 2 picks because they just jump into him. Well, I think Katana are very strong. It's just they kind of rely on momentum a lot. Like, they aren't exactly the most structured of teams. They're kind of like very wayward. But when they play aggressive and they are all getting their frags, they can be very successful, like we saw on Chalet. But then if you take them to a more like structured map like Clubhouse against a structured team like NeverLast who can adapt, then it's just over them, you know?
It is, yeah. It's not something you can always rely on, and sometimes just sticking to your gut and playing your game is the way to go, and taking 1 round at a time. And Katana tried to do it there. They had 1 round back out of 3, but wasn't quite enough in the end. Kitten with that shotgun, you have to shut them down. Ended that game on 15 kills, so the top fragger of the series as well as on Clubhouse individually. So, you know, the MVP. Hopefully, we'll get them for an interview maybe later. We're going to take a short break now before we interview at least 1 player from each team, hopefully. and we'll be back in a few minutes to get further insight into this game.
So yeah, well, it was a very incredible, exciting matchup there today. Very good, two great teams going up against each other with very aggressive plays. Now we do have Ollie here, who I believe was Swiss from Team NeverLast. Talk about.
No.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. Yeah, Shady here, who had a great performance today, and he's in the VC with us to try and talk about what happened in the game. Now, first of all, I would actually like to ask you, I believe going into this game, one of your players is literally crippled because something happened to their wrist. Can you elaborate on that?
I have a broken wrist. So losing a gunfight to me is flat out embarrassing. So I don't know how I got away with 9 kills on the second map.
I'll frag Gerald for sure.
Yeah, Gerald. But shit happens. Not too bothered about that. More the fact that we literally just were going into it with a 4v5 kind of sucks, and to some degree probably had some sort of effect on the team's mental as a whole.
I saw you put Bro in the chat when you tried to deagle that drone and just didn't quite get it.
As my Turkish brother's Swiss moment. I didn't quite see what happened there, but yeah. I think he waited his setup chasing.
Well, you were injured and you still managed to frag out a little bit, and yeah, you first map was a little bit shaky. I noticed you were doing that. You were trying to use all the smokes to just give a main breach and just clear that way instead of just using like a big window and stuff to clear normally and then execute. I just wanted to ask you about why did you decide to do that instead of just doing a normal clear?
So ideally we are denying the vertical play from above, so those smokes theoretically prevent any sort of plant denial coming through. However, due to miscommunication or whatever, we weren't identifying the guy top floor playing the vert, and that's what was punishing us. But ideally, we like to play for the map control more than like actually pushing above. That's what we use the smokes there.
Okay, cool. Also on Clubhouse, Kitten did absolutely incredible today.
Put a little shift in.
Yeah.
Very proud of him as always, little duck boy. Putting up numbers as per. A little bit of a rivalry there between me and him, not gonna lie, but I was kind of gas him up before the game, saying, if I outfrag you with a broken wrist, it's gonna be shocking. So
yeah, Kitten went crazy.
I think he took a tie a little bit, yeah.
Well, yeah, I think I think Katana kind of like. I have a question. You noticed that Katana were kind of like constantly like holding back construction, and you decided you'd put James on that rappel as Flores and just like snipe on that on the roof. You know what I mean?
We I think our clubhouse was much better than our chalet. We definitely identified the way they were playing on attack and defense and adapted very nicely to what they were doing. Another example would be that when they're doing their bottom floor defense, we identified that they're all roaming and just pushed blue and dirt quickly and got a free round.
Alright, cool. Do you have any questions there, Dan? Or
I don't think you've answered the ones I had really for the side NeverLast anyway. But it's a good game for me today. Wasn't maybe quite as strong as your first game, but still a 1-1 draw put you in third place now in the table. So a good position to get at this stage in the season. And I wish you luck in the rest of your games. Hopefully your wrist heals, and hopefully we're in a better shape for future games. We can only hope. But you still seem to get kills anyway, so it doesn't seem to make a huge difference for you. Yeah, thank you for joining us though, Shady. I appreciate you coming by to answer a couple of questions, and I wish you luck in the rest of your games.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a good one.
Best of luck, Shady.
All right, we're also joined by Lou here from the side of KG. Welcome, Lou, to the stream. GG's on your game today. How do you feel after that kind of, I guess, what seemed like a very strong game at first, but then seemed to go a bit wrong on Clubhouse?
Yeah, I mean, Chalet was fine. Before we did what we needed to do on Chalet. Clubhouse is, I think, down to mistakes is individual mistakes, really. Like one round in bar, we had troubles attacking that site. We knew what to do and we knew how we wanted to take it, but the guy was playing quite aggressive on the construction window, I believe, and we lost a guy to it most times, and they were impact in the wall and stuff. But it's just simple kind of like little mistakes that went wrong in Clubhouse. I think if we sorted them out, we would have got a lot more rounds. And then in terms of the defense, I think the other team adapted quite well to the basement room. They caught me off inside his strip quite easily. But like bar again, they attacked very well. But yeah, they played quite well on attack for Clubhouse. But I just feel like just a few silly mistakes for Clubhouse and
That's fair,
Chalet, I
yeah.
think we played quite well.
Very, very fair. I saw that on Clubhouse, you obviously made use of Azumi on Chalet, but then you banned her on Clubhouse. Was there a reason behind that? Was that kind of a target ban for NeverLast, or was that just a kind of one of your go-to bans on Clubhouse?
I think Azami's a really strong operator right now. I feel like should be banned as much as Mirror and Cade, like your default bans. I think she's probably going to get into that state because she's so strong. But in terms of Clubhouse, we banned her because she's probably one of the best maps in comp for it to be used on, especially like Rafters and CC.
Bank as well. Bank's good.
Yeah. So we banned her on that because we don't use her, and we noticed from the VOD we watched on NeverLast for Oregon that they used Azami quite a lot. So we thought they could potentially use it quite a lot on Clubhouse. So we banned it.
That's fair.
That's the
Very,
reason.
very fair. In terms of like, I guess, and the difference between how NeverLast played on Clubhouse, do you feel like their playstyle changed between maps, or do you think they were always playing quite aggressive, or maybe it's a case of that you guys found easier to adapt to that aggressive playstyle on Chalet, but maybe not so much on Clubhouse? Do you think it was something else entirely?
I think on Chalet they were really slow in terms of their attacks, and Clubhouse they were a lot quicker on their attacks. Maybe it's something they talked to each other about after map 1, so they were a lot quicker, which obviously definitely worked for them. So for Clubhouse, yeah, I think at the end of the day, I think it just was a lot quicker and kind of ahead of us on that regard. But on Chalet, because we knew they were quite slow, we could just kind of adapt to it and save smokes, echo drones, and stuff like that.
That's fair. Yeah, completely fair. But with that, with the draw today, it puts you in second place in the table right now. Do you feel like your team can retain that position in the rest of the season?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Like our core 5 are still not we haven't been around for too long together, so we're quite kind of new. But I feel like with more time, then I think we can only improve as a team. Like I said, Clubhouse is just silly mistakes which we can fix from a VOD review. I think we definitely be better on that next time.
I know you guys.
A lot of the teams, where they're quite new to kind of as a team, but then they're going to slowly get better over time, and that can only get better really from there. Any further questions from you, Rods?
Yeah, I know you guys are doing a lot of direct takes, not really holding many windows and just sort of just sending it just directly. Like for example, when you were clearing green box and stuff on a Clubhouse, like when they were defending Gym, you just full sent through there. I was wondering your reasoning behind that.
I feel like in terms of Clubhouse, I can't really remember, to be honest, about the Gym site when they played it. I can't remember playing it, but I think like I said, for CC and Bar and Basement, we kind of knew where the weak point was. Like in terms of Jacuzzi and Strip, they're quite light on it. So for Basement, we attacked that side from Strip and Jacuzzi. But I think we were trying to get more kind of like diverse takes and stuff for Clubhouse. It's just, again, I think mentally, as we were losing a lot of rounds, it was kind of getting to us, and we just made stupid mistakes and was a lot more kind of direct than we were on.
Also, you know your timeout. You called it a little bit late, in my opinion, when you were already on a match point. What was your reason about late timeouts? Because I know teams like SSG do those, and Doc Zero do those match point timeouts. I was wondering your reasoning behind that.
To be honest, on Clubhouse, we kind of obviously forgot that we had that timeout, and we said if we win this round, I think I can't remember exactly whenever we used it, basically, we said on that round that regardless if we win or lose this round, we'll take the tactical timeout. If we win, we can use it as a boost. If we lose it, then we just need to talk about what's going wrong.
Yeah, definitely very understandable when you're in the heat of things like that. You can definitely let a few things fly under the radar. Now, you guys definitely a new roster. So sometimes you go absolutely crazy and you dominate teams like NeverLast on Chalet, and other times you sort of just get picked off on your weaker maps. But yeah, very fun matchup. Thank you for the games today, and best of luck in your future matches.
Thank you.
Cool. So that was Lou from the side of Katana Gaming. And I was going to say then to both those teams. I think both teams are quite confident, and it clearly shows that they're not teams to be messed with. Very strong in their own regard. Maybe the map pool's maybe a tad. I don't want to say limited because that's a bit harsh, but I think there's definitely maps where these teams play better and maybe more confident than others. Maybe NeverLast not not quite as strong a team on Chalet compared to Clubhouse, which I kind of expected going into it, because most teams are much more confident on Clubhouse. But hopefully they can change their mistakes that they made on Chalet, and therefore they won't make those mistakes again. They'll be more aggressive on their attacks and just more kind of decisive in general.
Yeah, totally. Well, I think that's it. Definitely 2 great games today, and very exciting matchup. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I mean, yeah, it's cool.
Absolutely. This has been me and broadcasting for you all tonight. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Stay tuned next week for more EOL streams coming your way in both the minor and major divisions, respectively. But have a great evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are around the world. And we'll see you all in the next EOL stream.